all of that. But I did want to start the show really and just, spend a little bit of time. I obviously did a short video earlier on today, passing on my condolences to Jota's wife. His mother and father have lost both their sons today, the children, and everybody that was connected to the man. Liverpool Football Club, Portugal, Wolverhampton Wanderers, who are a massive part of Jota's life. But I wanted to hand the floor to yourselves, because although none of us support those teams or sort of support the country, Jota was very much one of those players that everybody liked. He was one of those players that no one had a bad word to say about, and it's been a horrible day, I think, for the football community by and large.
Yeah, I mean, when I heard the news, I immediately burst into tears, and it's not because I've got any affiliation with him at all. I look at it that this is a young guy who's actually young enough to be my son, who's got a young family. I think all three of his children are under 3 years old. He's only been married for 10 days. He's got his whole life ahead of him. He's, a few weeks ago was picking up the Premier League trophy, and it just all seems so unfair. And it's just so incredibly tragic. And it's knocked me for six today, to be honest. And, I don't know this guy, but I think it just is a reminder of just how fragile life is and just how quickly everything can change. It's just one of the most horrendous days in football that I can remember being alive. I just feel completely blown away by it, really. It's horrific.
Yeah, I mean, for me, so I know in like America, we're about like 5 hours behind in like the UK. And I remember like this morning, I just like woke up like randomly, and you just like check like Instagram or something before you to go back to bed. So I checked like Instagram, and like I saw like his grayed out picture with his birth year, and like whenever you see that, it's nothing that's like a celebratory thing. So like I've kind of been up since about like 5 a.m. pretty much, just because like then you start looking at what's going on, and like it's just like absolutely crazy. And it's like you said, Kate, like these kind of things, like it just does remind you like how short life is, and how like one day you could be here, then the next day you can't. I mean, for me, like this is like one of like the rare times that I think like a active player in like a top league that we all watch, that we all like really do know of, has passed in like the middle of kind of like their career. And it made me think about what happened a few years ago with the Argentinian striker. I think he was going to Cardiff.
Salah.
Yeah. Like he was, I think like his plane or something like that, like on the way to make the move. So yeah, I mean, it's actually like crazy. Definitely does kind of dampen the mood, makes you not want to really do content or nothing like that. But hope that like everybody that's affected and his family and stuff could all be taken care of, and everybody could support them and stuff like that. But it's crazy.
It's an awful, isn't it? Like the guy's younger than me. Like he's about to be 29. Like when you look at the situation, like his children, his parents, and you see the amount of love that he had, like for all the entire Liverpool fan base. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw it today, like Everton fans in the masses, the numbers going down, putting flowers down outside the ground. It's absolutely horrendous. Rest in peace to Arnie and his brother Andre, and obviously condolences to his children and his wife and his parents, because like it's just absolutely horrendous. It really, really is.
It certainly is. I mean, there's an old-fashioned saying that nothing brings a family together like a funeral. And although you would never, ever, ever wish or want for a day like this to happen again, as you point out, Will, the list of active football players at the highest level of the game that have passed away during the peak of their career is very, very low. This is a very abnormal situation. I've seen people today angry that it's getting attention compared to other atrocities around the world. I think people are missing a point here, and I've tried not to get personal with it. And I'm not claiming by any means to be massive friends with Jota. I've never made that claim, but he was someone that helped me a lot in my career, someone who was a lovely man, and it's very sad. But it's also the reason why, if you're a football content creator, you're going to see maybe more people reacting to this than other people in the world passing, it's because you're in the football community with us, and this is a death within the football community. I'm sure the cricket community today is barely speaking about it, or the American political YouTubers are probably not tweeting about this if that's what you follow. And I think people often get really confused by that. Like my whole timeline, I purposely mute and make my algorithm only show me football news because I don't want to see other things on there when I'm working, just because I want it to be football based. So there is certainly that. And again, I just, as I say, I was similar to you, Will. I saw it quite late last night. I had a few people message me saying you heard the news, and my first thought was to text him. And that's the bit that I don't know what to do. Like, and it's not really about me, but I keep looking at it, hoping that it blue ticks, and it's horrible. And yeah, just massive commiserations to his friends and his family, his beautiful children, and his wife again. And I didn't know whether to do today's show, as I said at the top, but then the community speaks, and 80% of the community wanted us to go ahead and do this show, and hopefully, as we say, it's people find it cathartic in some way. And I know that none of our members, none of our viewers, no one who's commenting is sort of getting in there and trying to make it about them, but at the end of the day, we all hate each other sometimes in the year because we play each other, you beat each other in finals. But at the end of the day, we all come together for one thing, and that's football. And someone that's part of that family, whether it's direct or indirect, has very tragically passed away. And they're not just inanimate objects. They're not just sort of members of staff at the checkout in Tesco's. No disrespect to those individuals. The footballers are a very important part of something that we love. And football, and it's a great saying, I don't know who said it, that football is the most important unimportant things, and I think it is to a lot of us. So yeah, a massive commiserations to him. Kunle, thanks for joining us on the show as well, mate. I really appreciate it, bro, you being here today.
Thanks for having me, bro.
I hope that like Liverpool, or like I don't know like how like these things work, but I hope that like either like the club or like maybe like some of the teammates that were close with him, like I saw like Ronaldo made a post. I just hope that they, like, I always think about like the family in a situation like this, especially when you have somebody that's like the predominantly like the breadwinner, right? And then now it's like now like that source is like taken away. I just hope that the club, or I don't know, like the players just like take care of like his family. Like that's because like
making sure they're looked after, man. That's
because like now like their life is completely turned upside down. Like. So, I hope that they like honor his contract still. Like, I don't know how much longer he had. I hope that keeps getting paid out. Then I hope that even like after the contract runs out, Liverpool, they still do something where like, like his wife and like their kids are being taken care of and financially and stuff, because like that, yeah, like that's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think they should be looking at, and this isn't to put any unnecessary pressure on Liverpool. I saw Tom Little tweet that he wants the club to support them, and I reply. I think they will. Again, Liverpool. You'll all at one point in time have your banter with them, have your problems with them, but they're such a giant football club. They're such a well-run football club. I'm sure they will look at the retirement of a number. I'm sure there'll be some type of tribute permanently at Anfield, and I'm sure that the clubs have insurances anyway. But I'm sure they will pay out that and make sure that his wife and his children are taken care of forever. I'm sure Liverpool Football Club would do that. And as you say, there's the players and everybody else, and it's crazy. This year says came in 2020, won the 20th. He wore number 20, retired the number. Well, there's a lot of connections in numbers sometimes, and crazy. Amir says condolences to Jota and Andre's family, and also to the Liverpool fan base and community. Gone but never forgotten. You'll never walk alone. Tony here says devastating news. I really hated when he played against us. One of those players you love to have on your team but hate to play against. Seems like genuinely a nice guy. His poor family. R.I.P. Jota.
You know what, Terry? It's like it's times like this when when people ask like, is football just a sport? It's like it's times like this when the community comes together that you realize it's not just a sport, man. And it's happened on numerous occasions where all rivalries aside, all hatred aside, at the end of the day, it's bigger than who you support and and what your team's going to sign and all that sort of stuff. It's bigger than that. There's people's lives at stake, and I'm so glad about the support that I've seen on social media from a variety of different fan bases and how they come together. It just proves that football it's a religion, like borderline a religion, let alone a sport, man. People are just moved, like it's changed people's lives. It's the reason for people's lives. It's what people wait for once a week, every week. It's just so much. And again, like my condolences to Jota and his family and stuff like that as well, man. It's crazy.
Absolutely.
28 years old.
Glad to see my club Chelsea did a minute's silence for him before training. RIP to Jota, and love to all his family. Big up Terry for that video. Look, I mean, the video, like always, been a lot of praise for it. I appreciate it. It's not why I did it. I just had a feeling of I just wanted to put a little message out about him. And, you know, I've had a few derogatory messages about it, but that's life for you. But yeah, I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
On a day that's as sad and tragic as this, you'd think people could try and be a little bit nicer, couldn't you? But, you know.
Well, it's
think about others rather than themselves, man. It's ridiculous.
Twitter is a wild place right now. Yeah, it's like a lot of people should not have opinions. Twitter is crazy.
It definitely has been. I've been off of it. I had to drive home from London actually today because we were meant to be launching a new show later tonight. Which we're going to be a really fun and entertaining show, but we just decided that we'll be postponing that for a week because it wouldn't have, the vibe has to be right for that show, and it wouldn't have been the right day to do it. But I drove home and I stopped at the service station. I was reading some of the things. I was looking at it thinking, I saw some guy today who I did follow at the time, who posted a picture of a striker. I think it was Nico Williams, and said, if anyone needs a striker, here's one that's available. And I just thought to myself, I'm not trying to bring the mood down. So the only thing I'll say on this is I'm not someone who directly believes in censorship, but I look at that more as that should be something that gets you banned. That's just unacceptable on every single level, because that's not a joke. It's nasty because the news has just come out. You know what I mean? So I don't know. The world is for some sickos, but that's why the Terrace community is great, because I don't think we've got people like that here. So mad how life can change. We must make the most of it and love each other, because we can be here happy, promising things, and then gone the next. Live, laugh, remember God. Do you know what, Carl? I think as well, for me, like there are times where part of loving your football club is being angry. I don't actually think you can love something without being angry at it at times. Does that make sense? I think they say the closest emotion to love is hate, but I think sometimes we've got to start putting football into more perspective. You're meant to be involved in football to enjoy it, and to be angry every single day and to be annoyed every single day. Maybe not so much you're taking it too seriously, or you're looking at it from the wrong angle sometimes. And I think that moments like this just make me reflect, because you realize what the most important things in life are. I would like, if the stream starts, we've got something planned for that. We've got something planned for that towards the end. But I hear what you're saying there, Magnum. Thank you very much indeed. I want to say Ronin has gifted 20 memberships out to the community today, which is just amazing. So thank you. You're a legend for that. And Coobs has also donated 20 memberships out. So that's 25 brand new members on the show whilst we're live, which is just amazing. Magnum says, I love how everybody is coming together in this. It gives a new look at life for us all. Banter is fun, but love is great. Well, I hope you remember that when Man United lose next season. There we go. So a little bit of lightheartedness there. And listen, I will say this again. I will never proclaim that I knew Jota as well as like his actual close friends and family. But there are a few times where he messaged me and I messaged him where he'd caught bits of the show, especially when Guna's having a pop at him when he scored against them. And there's a few times I messaged him saying great goals today, but my audience is mad, and he'd come back with laughing emoji, or I saw that part. And for me personally, it's only a personal view. Like my nan had a really sick sense of humor. So at her funeral, me and my brothers were just cracking a lot of jokes, because our view was my nan would have loved that. So yeah, I think there's room for a little bit of humor in these moments as well, I think. Thank you, Sadiq, for also gifting out 5 memberships to the community tonight. You're absolute legend. Roning here says, prayers out to all. Thank you very much for that, brother. It means a great deal. This is Wayne, who says, life is precious. I'm experienced loss of friends in war and to other effects of war after coming home. I can only imagine what the family are going through. Feels like Kobe. Condolences to Diogo's family. Yeah, and listen, obviously Kobe Bryant is a giant amongst giants when it comes to the sporting world. But you know, I'm not a massive basketball fan, and that hit me because I know the significance of him. And it's very similar vibes. I think this will, for football fans, this may have more of an impact because it's someone in our sport that we watch on a regular basis. But yeah, absolutely. I want to celebrate Jota because he was a bad boy finisher. I remember that goal he scored against us, Terry, in the FA Cup when he was with Wolves, had a sense and an eye for goal. He did. And my first memory of him at Wolves was sitting in an office with his agent, Big Willie Bolly, João Neves, not João Neves, Ruben Neves, and Jota, and Ruben Neves and Jota weren't listening to the questions. And I was saying to their agent, I need them to speak to me because I can't write the answers. They were playing each other on FIFA on PSP in the room. That was my first memory of them, and young lads they were then. But there, listen, I want to thank everyone who putting in your comments and who is with us today.